E. Jean Carroll was awarded $5 million from him yesterday. A jury of his peers, and he basically provided almost no defense. He didn't show up. His deposition, his tape deposition, was a travesty in which, as Caitlin noted, he doubled down on his Access Hollywood claim about what you get away with, unfortunately or fortunately, as he said, if you're a star. He went after her again tonight.
Yeah.
He just won. I mean, she just won $3 million for defamation yesterday. He called her a whack job. I don't know if we have some of that sound. Let's run it.
I want to ask you about a significant verdict that was reached yesterday. I know this is something you want to weigh in on as well. A Manhattan jury found that you sexually abused the writer E. Jean Carroll and defamed her. You've denied this. But what do you say to voters who say it disqualifies you from being president?
Well, there aren't too many of them because my poll numbers just came out and they went up. Okay. I think I'm the only person in history who had a charge like that. And usually you leave office, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm going to back home. I'm back home to my family and everything. I'm going to be resigned. My poll numbers went up, and they went up with the other fake charge, too. Because what's happening is they're doing this for election interference. This woman, I don't know her. I never met her. I have no idea who she is. I swear on my children, which I'd never do. I have no idea who this woman is. This is a fake story. Made-up story. We had a horrible Clinton-appointed judge. He was horrible. He allowed her to put everything in. He allowed us to put nothing in.
Mr. President,
this is a
you're
fake
recounting your version
story.
of events here right now to the audience. You referenced the trial. You did not go to the trial and actually testify. Do you wish that you had testified?
No, it wouldn't have made a difference. This was a rigged deal. This was my lawyer said, sir, you don't have to do it. I actually said, I think I should. It would be respectful. They said, sir, don't do it. This is a fake story, and you don't want to give it credibility. That's why I didn't go.
One thing you did do in this.
And I swear, and I've never done that, and I swear to, I have no idea who the hell, she's a whack job.
She's a whack job. Now, his lawyer, Joe Tacopina, is saying that they're going to appeal, even though I don't know what kind of grounds for appeal they really have, given the fact that they didn't really mount much of a defense. And there is such a record he has of women accusing him of sexual assault and harassment. How does his going on CNN and calling the woman who was just awarded $5 million after a jury found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation, calling her a whack job, does that play into his attempt to get an appeal?
Before I answer your question, let me just be very clear. What we saw tonight was outrageous. Absolutely. I'm a very objective person. The idea that you would have somebody who is vying to be the head of the executive branch say that the jury pools in the United States of America are not fair, that presumptively we must doubt them because of how they may vote in elections, that you would allude to what kind of a woman, that was his phrase, would engage in similar behavior. The idea of trying to litigate in the court of public opinion what has already been decided in a court of law, it's a phrase called res judicata, which is different than double jeopardy we all are familiar with. The idea you cannot try somebody twice for the same crime. That's in the criminal context. But courts will look at it and say, hold on, is there a common nucleus of facts here that suggests that we've already dealt with this issue? Your comment based on this circumstance, what you've said. It really is up to a judge to figure out whether you can bring charges or bring a lawsuit, again, based on that very notion. It's kind of novel territory in the context of what he's saying tonight. But the idea that he is making that statement, going beyond that today to take credit for the Dobbs decision. Did we all catch that?
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second.
I did that.
Yeah.
I just have to get this in because it was the Supreme Court of the United States who are 9 Supreme Court members. We know that they are inherently appointed in a political fashion. But for this president to say that he usurped essentially the role of the Supreme Court doesn't bode well for the credibility of our courts in this world. And let me just say this. I'm sorry to cut you off, because as the lawyer watching this, I have to say, I would be salivating if I were the attorneys for E. Jean Carroll, if I were the prosecutors, if I were Jack Smith, if I were in Georgia, because every single statement will line up in a column against here are the potential claims.
Yeah.